Most gardeners, are always chasing the latest sprays, expensive neem oils, or chemical treatments to manage pests. Yet right under your nose, there's a native plant that quietly eliminates pests year-round without damaging your soil or harming beneficial insects. The mistake most gardeners make is ignoring these plants entirely or just thinking they're weeds. And, well, this leads to persistent infestations, stressed crops, and even nutrient loss as plants struggle under pressure. I've spent years testing different pest management strategies in raised beds, backyard gardens, and even hydroponic setups. Early on, I discovered that integrating certain native plants into your garden ecosystem can prevent pest problems before they even start. But before we dive deeper, one tool really changed how I observed and measured these effects. The 4-in-1 soil moisture meter. It tracks soil moisture, temperature, pH, and sunlight intensity in real time. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. Using this tool, I could see how the soil responded to companion plants and cover crops and ensure moisture levels were optimal for pest resistance. Most gardeners, honestly, overlook plant diversity in their beds. The typical garden layout, rows of tomatoes, peppers, or lettuce, creates a monoculture that's just perfect for pests. Aphids, leaf miners, and nematodes find a buffet and spread quickly. The native plants I'll discuss don't just deter pests, they also attract beneficial insects, improve soil structure, and help retain nutrients. Ignoring them is like leaving your front door wide open to invaders. Why does this native plant work year-round? Well, what makes this plant exceptional is its dual function. Its leaves emit compounds that repel common pests, while its flowers attract predators like ladybugs and lacewings. The roots secrete bioactive compounds that discourage soil-borne nematodes and harmful fungi. Unlike chemical treatments, it doesn't disrupt the microbial life in your soil, which is honestly critical for nutrient cycling and overall plant health. So, here's how I tested it in different systems. In my raised beds, I went ahead and planted a combination of this native plant alongside tomatoes, cucumbers, and kale. I made sure to use the soil meter to keep an eye on moisture levels, since pest activity, often spikes when plants get stressed out by drought or inconsistent watering. The results were honestly pretty clear. Compared to beds without the native plant, pest populations were reduced by over 60%, and my crops just grew faster and healthier. In container gardens, the principle is really the same. Even when you have limited soil volume, the native plant still managed to create a sort of micro-ecosystem. The roots from different species interact, releasing natural deterrents into the soil while helping maintain moisture and pH balance. Now, hydroponic systems are a bit different, but companion plants or even cuttings placed nearby can still help regulate humidity and attract beneficial insects, which, in turn, reduces pest pressure. This is where, honestly, most advice kind of fails. A lot of gardening guides will tell you to spray at the very first sign of pests. That might work for a little while, but it usually ends up damaging the soil and killing off beneficial microbes. Other guides suggest introducing predators like ladybugs, but if you don't provide a habitat, they just leave or die pretty quickly. What I've learned is that creating a self-sustaining ecosystem with native plants actually addresses the problem at the source. Pests are deterred naturally, and beneficial insects have the food and shelter they need to really thrive. Planting and maintaining the native plant is, honestly, simpler than you might think. Start by spacing these plants in strategic locations throughout your garden. In raised beds, I alternate them between crop rows, making sure every section has coverage. In containers, I like to place one near each major crop or cluster for, maximum effect. Regular pruning encourages growth and ensures the plant continues to emit those pest-repelling compounds. And unlike many companion plants, this one thrives year-round. as long as soil moisture and sunlight are adequate. Here's where the soil meter comes in again. Overwatering or underwatering, really reduces the plant's pest deterrent efficacy. By measuring soil moisture and temperature, I could maintain optimal conditions. The pH reading also helped me adjust compost and mulch inputs to keep the soil chemistry balanced, ensuring both the native plant and my crops thrive together. Timing and layering are key for maximum effect. Planting the native species at the beginning of the growing season ensures it establishes itself before pests become active. For perennials, just a few plants planted around the perimeter act as a living barrier, while annuals scattered throughout provide localized protection. I also layer organic mulch beneath these plants. Mulch retains moisture, reduces weeds, and supports microbial life, all while enhancing the plant's ability to repel pests. The results honestly speak for themselves. After just one season, the difference was, remarkable. Aphids that used to overrun my tomato plants stayed away, leaf miners avoided the cucumbers, and nematodes were far less common in the soil. Even more impressive, the native plant needed almost no maintenance once it got established. It didn't compete aggressively with my crops, but instead it actually created a symbiotic relationship that improved the entire garden ecosystem. So why does this work better than chemicals? Well, chemical sprays can lead to resistant pests, disrupt the soil's microbiology, and even cut down on pollinator activity. In contrast, the native plant approach really strengthens your soil and ecosystem, all while providing ongoing protection. By supporting microbial life and balancing moisture and pH, your crops end up more resilient and, honestly, more nutritious. Over time, you'll find yourself spending less effort chasing pests and more time harvesting healthy produce. Here are some practical tips for serious gardeners. Place the native plant strategically near your high-value crops. It's a good idea to monitor soil conditions with a 4-in-1 soil moisture meter to prevent stress. Use mulch and organic matter to enhance your soil structure. Prune regularly to maintain growth and potency, and combine this with crop rotation, cover crops and diverse plantings for a fully integrated, low-maintenance garden. Even small adjustments can make a big difference. I once neglected to monitor moisture during a hot spell, and the plant's pest-repelling ability diminished temporarily. Checking the soil and adjusting irrigation immediately restored its effectiveness. This really demonstrates that even natural systems need careful observation. Tools like the soil meter take away the guesswork and provide precise guidance. So how do you scale this approach? For backyard gardens, just a few native plants strategically planted throughout your beds is usually sufficient. In larger raised beds or small-scale farms, you can create clusters or lines around perimeter crops to act as a protective buffer. For containers, 1 or 2 plants per grouping can actually make a big difference in reducing pest incidence. The principles scale well because you're leveraging natural plant chemistry and soil health instead of relying on external chemicals. Here's the takeaway for serious gardeners. Pest management doesn't have to be reactive. By integrating this native plant into your garden, you create a living defense system that works year-round. It protects your crops, improves soil biology, and enhances yields without chemicals. When you pair that with careful soil monitoring, composting, and strategic planting, it really transforms how your garden functions. If you want a garden that's resilient, productive, and largely self-regulating, start including native plants in your ecosystem. Monitor moisture, temperature, and pH with your soil meter, and pay attention to companion planting and soil health. Over time, you'll spend less effort battling pests and more time enjoying a thriving, sustainable garden. Subscribe to Living Soil Garden for more advanced hands-on gardening strategies, and share this video with anyone still relying solely on sprays or chemical solutions. Real garden health starts with understanding soil, plants, and natural pest control.